Guys, I know I haven't made a video in like a week, so that was like, Friday? So, 4 days, 4 or 5 days. So, I've been getting a lot of questions from a lot of random people about my life and why I decided to start doing the videos. And to be totally honest, it started out as a response to one of Heather Morgan's videos because, I don't know, I related to it so well that I was just like, I have to make a response to this. But there's some things that I always wanted to say. And so I figured I'm going to use this medium to say it. Medium to say it. Why did I say median? Median is something in the middle of the road. So, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my life. I was born in Indiana in a family of 5 other children who we were very poor from young age, and so we moved to Florida when I was 5, the summer after I turned 5, which was 99. No, 98, summer 98, and then kindergarten. So, did kindergarten through 8th grade down in Florida, and I hated every minute of it. We moved up here for about 6 months in 6th grade because my grandma got really sick, and we tried staying up here, and we just couldn't. But I hated every minute of Florida, and I know some of my friends from Florida are like, but I love you, and I'm sorry, I'm going to readjust the framing here a little bit. You know, I love some of the people I met in Florida. I love you guys, I really do, but those were awful years for me. I was away from my extended family. I hated who I was. I got picked on every day and beaten up, and no one gave a shit. No one cared. Teachers didn't care. Other students didn't care. No one cared. My best friend was Miss Young, the history teacher. She and Mr. Roberts, one of the math teachers. They were great people, and I loved them. And they are one of the reasons that I want to be a teacher when I'm older, is because, you know, they helped me get through those years. If it wasn't for them, I would have died a long time ago. You know, I would have just done it in middle school. Just offed myself. So, we moved back up here March of 8th grade. Well, December of 2006. And then I started school up here in March of 8th grade. We thought we were only going to be here for a few months because my grandma had surgery and she wasn't recovering well. And so we stayed up here. And I can't tell you how much that changed my life. If I had stayed in Florida, there's no way I'd be where I am now. I know that. Like, you ever not get something you want, but then like a year later you look back and think, if I had gotten that when I wanted it, my life wouldn't have been the same. It's like not making golden ears all through high school, which is the top show choir. I always thought, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be good enough for anything because I didn't make golden ears. But, to be totally honest, I know that if I had made golden ears even 1 year of high school, my life wouldn't have been the same. Freshman year, you can't make it as freshman. Sophomore year, I wouldn't have been able to have Miss Eulenhake as my teacher. Junior year, I wouldn't have been able to have Mr. Corwin as my teacher. And then I wouldn't have the love for science that I do. And the beautiful teacher that is Mr. Corwin. Like, he's a beautiful person. Inside, outside, everything about him is wonderful. Senior year, if I had made it, I would not have been able to start ABC, which helped get challenge day to my high school. You know, I wouldn't have been able to do any of that, and I see that now. But the summer between junior and senior year, I took it really hard that I didn't make it. You know, but Florida's like one of those things for me. If I look back now and I'm like, I am so happy I got out of Florida, because if I hadn't, I probably wouldn't be here. Like, literally, I'd probably not be alive right now. Because if I had to endure that one more day, just one more day, I would not have survived it. It was awful. I had no friends. I had people breaking into my locker so they could steal my stuff and make me buy it back from them. I had, I went to all the dances just because I wanted to look like I had friends. But to be totally honest, my sister's friends were my friends because I could not make friends because for some reason everyone hated me. Because apparently I was too fat and I was too ugly and I was too poor. And I'm like, we live in a farming town. Everyone is freaking poor. Makes no sense. But I guess I was the only one there whose parents actually had to work and didn't own something. You know, my mom either worked at a gas station or a laundromat, and my dad was a truck driver. So apparently I was not good enough. My sister has just always been likable, is why I think that she overcame that. She's always been likable. There's just no way not to like my sister. It's just a fact. And if you don't like her, it's just because like you met her on a bad day. But even then, you have like one day with her. Even I don't like her sometimes, but then I like her again because you can't stay mad at her. But I moved here and I met wonderful people who loved who I was, who loved me. I met my best friend ever, Mary. I met her. I dated a guy who ended up being gay, which wasn't going to be the first time that happened. Girls, it's going to happen to you once, if not multiple times, especially if you hang out in the circles that I do. So let's see. High school was actually pretty great. Sophomore year really sucked. Yeah, let's just skip freshman year because my freshman year I can't remember half of. Sophomore year, September, started out pretty okay. But September 22nd, my grandma passed away. And I'm not getting into like the family drama that caused. But I have this guilt inside of me that I need to tell someone about or I'm just going to explode. Before my grandma died, I can't remember the last day I spent with her. The last time I remember seeing her was in May. I think it was May 11th because I think it was right after Mother's Day. And my aunt had said some things to school and it got me arrested and put into Methodist psych ward because they thought I was going to shoot people. Which I'm still not even over that. Like, I'm still claustrophobic because of that. Because they locked me in a tiny room with people and maybe a dress in front of them. And it was awful. So awful. But, I've forgiven her since. So no one's starting drama over that. But I'm just going to end this at sophomore year. And then I'll make another one at the rest of the high school. But my grandma passed away. And my family fell apart. The next few months were really hard. I struggled with my faith with God that I had just recently found. I struggled with my sexuality, my life, who I was. You know, I thought if Grandma's not here to tell me who I am and to push me forward, who is going to? Because my mom and I just never had that relationship. And that's when I adopted the role of me pushing other people instead of people pushing me. But that's another video. I gotta wrap this up because I feel like if I don't, I'm gonna drown on forever and ever. My great-grandmother died in March, and then my great-grandfather, who I had not met until he was in his casket, but I went to his funeral in support of my grandfather. He didn't even know I was alive. He apparently came to my grandma's funeral and thought that Vanessa, who's my older sister, was my mother's last child. Didn't even know that me and my little sister existed. He died. I have no remorse for him. No mourning. I don't care about him. Sorry, I don't. He's scum. I don't like him. But that was a really hard year for me. And I just want to tell anybody who's having a hard year like that, just make it through it. And everything will be okay. I promise. I promise everything will be just fine. Even if you don't have faith in anything, even if you feel like the world is ending, even if you feel like it'd be so much easier if you just ended it all. Let me tell you, just get through it and then look back and you'll be amazed at what you did. So I'm going to end this video and I'll make another one a little later with the rest of it, answering the rest of the questions that I've gotten. So I will see you guys later.